In this lesson, we are going to be wrapping up our American Revolutionary War unit. So we are going to be talking about the Declaration of Independence, and our students are going to be filling this out. First, we're going to watch a little video to review why we have the Declaration of Independence.
Hi, TJ here, aka Thomas Jefferson. It's 1776, and we're at the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia. It's June, and it's a hot one here. We're a bit more productive in the Second Continental Congress. First, we have all 13 colonies attending this time. In the First Continental Congress in 1774, only 12 colonies attended. It happened that our good friends in Georgia got cold feet and decided not to attend and risk upsetting King George. A bit wimpy, if you ask me. One big thing we managed to achieve at the Second Continental Congress is that we created the first and only Continental Army. Quite an achievement, given that our militias to date have been a hodgepodge of ordinary folk and farmers. And we elected George Washington to head up the Continental Army. Yeah, that's him over there. Great guy, a lot of fun at the tavern. He likes to be called the General. You might have heard we're ready to declare our independence from King George, so we thought it was time to put all this down on paper. So Congress appointed a 5-person committee to draft the Declaration of Independence. I was hoping Ben Franklin, that's him over there, would take up this assignment. Turns out that I have to write it, and I only have a couple of weeks. Yikes! So before I start drafting the Declaration of Independence, let's reflect a bit how we got here. More specifically, let's discuss King George's crazy taxation policies. George was big time in debt after the 7 Years' War. He figured that the colonists should pay him back for the British support in the French and Indian War. In 1765, the British Parliament passed the Stamp Act. No, not postal stamps, but it was a tax on everyday paper that we had to buy from Britain. Additional taxes via the Townshend Acts of 1767 were imposed on paint, glass, lead, and tea. George just loved shoving these taxes down our throats. We weren't going to take it for much longer. Needless to say, discontent spread throughout the colonies. So King George sent in the Redcoats in 1768 to force the colonists to pay up. Things got even more heated on a chilly morning in March 1770, when a group of Bostonians confronted the British soldiers by first calling them names like lobsters and bloody backs. Well, the Brits didn't take too kindly to those insults and opened fire on the Bostonians, killing 5 of them. Oh, by the way, John Adams, yeah, that's him again over there, defended the British soldiers in court. Typical Adams. The last straw was in 1773. King George threw the tea tax our way. Now, let me get this straight. He already taxed tea in 1767. Now he gave the tea monopoly in the colonies to one of his crony companies, the East India Company. So in December of 1773, a friendly group of Bostonians, many of them tea traders, threw a party of sorts. These guys, after a few drinks at the local tavern, dressed up as Indians, raided a few of the ships in the harbor, and managed to destroy over 300 crates of tea. Oh boy, that set King George off big time. King George closed the Boston harbor, and that really infuriated all the colonies. What's amazing is that during all this, we colonists never had a say or any voting powers in the British Parliament. That's taxation without representation if I've ever seen it. Well, after the Boston Tea Party, things got worse between the colonists and the British soldiers. Stay tuned for more in our next video.
Okay, so who can tell me why was the Declaration of Independence even written? Like, why do we have it? Yes, why do we have it? Okay, so was there a king? Did we have a king?
No.
Do you guys remember the king?
Yeah. George Washington.
So, very good. Say it one more time.
George Washington.
No, that wasn't the king. That was one of the people who were in the Declaration of Independence. But who was our king? Was it George the Third? It wasn't George Washington. It was George the Third was our king of England. So a long, long time ago, we had this king. And he made all these rules and all these taxes, and it made the people upset. If you had all these rules and all these taxes, would you be upset?
No.
No? What if they were bad and you didn't like them? So, the Declaration of Independence was a way for the colonists to explain themselves to the king. So, this means that they wanted to be free. So, in the Declaration of Independence, they wrote these. Let me turn this on. So, they wrote these, like, commands to the king about what they wanted. They wanted to be free from him. So these words over here are kind of hard to understand. So we're going to put on this side what it actually means. Okay? So everybody has their permanent marker, right? Everyone has their permanent marker. So we're going to fill this out together. So the very first word is, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Now, we hold these truths to be self-evident. So this means the truth. So everybody's going to write the truth. So this means the truth. So everyone write the truth. Yes, very good. Good job. So we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. All men and women are created equal. So the truth, this means that all people are equal. So we're just going to put people, equal, equal. We are all should be treated the same. You guys think everybody should be treated the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty sure, probably.
If I give you permission to sit at the big table for lunch, don't you want to sit at the big table for lunch too? We
Okay.
should all be treated equal. Alright?
I'm gonna put an eagle sign. Eagle.
We'll wait till the very end. Yeah. So we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator. That means that we are made by God. So God made us is the next one. God made us.
God made.
Yes. Good job. Did you get that written down?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Wait. Oh.
So we hold these truths to be self-evident. So the truth that all people are created equal, that we are made by God with certain unalienable rights. So unalienable rights. That just means we have rights. Put simply, we have rights. We have rights. Okay, so I'm going to read it from the top again. We hold these truths to be self-evident. So the truth. That all men are created equal. So all people are equal. That they are endowed by their Creator, meaning that God made us. We have certain unalienable rights. We all have rights. Now we're going to learn about those rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, what does that mean? That means everyone write,
Oh, I know how to spell.
we live to be happy and free. We live to be happy and free.
I'm not free and I'm not happy.
So we have the right to always be happy and free. Everyone got that?
We live,
Not yet.
we live to be happy. Free and happy. We live to be free.
Say huh?
We be
Good job. We live to be happy and free. To secure these rights, so we're gonna, in order to stay free, I'm gonna go ahead and write the next one too. So that to secure these rights, so in order so we can stay free and still have all of our rights, governments are instituted among men. So the next one's gonna be the government.
Oh, government was one of our words last time.
It was one of our words, very good.
So you guys are
We hold these truths to be self-evident. So the truth, that all men are created equal, all people are equal, that they are endowed by their Creator, meaning God made us, with certain inalienable rights. So we have rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So we have the right to live and be free. That to secure these rights, so to stay free, governments are instituted among men. So the government deriving their just powers. That means that the government cannot be too powerful. That's what was wrong with the King of Great Britain. He was too powerful, and the people had nothing to say or do because he ruled over them. So that's why these were created, so that the people, so we could all be treated equal. So the government, this is a little longer one. The government cannot be too powerful. Cannot be too, and this is TOO, too powerful. So the government cannot be too powerful from the consent of the governed. We're the governed. So all we're going to put here is the government cannot be too powerful over us.
covered.
Over us. Okay, so next we're going to learn about who all signed the Declaration of Independence.
So let us honor the unparalleled sacrifices of these 56 men and thank them.
So there are 56 men that signed the Declaration of Independence. They all signed their name on it. And these are all the men. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Declaration of Independence.
Sorry, my name.
And all the students are going to write their name on the Declaration of Independence.
Oh my goodness.
Use as much ink as you need.